Hi, everybody. Welcome to week 3. My name is Linda O'Connor, and I just wanted to take a quick moment to say hello and just check in on everybody and see how things are going in probably what's getting close to the midpoint of our course. I hope everybody's doing well. I know these have been some trying times in the news as well as in our own lives. Many of us have had to weather some storms, both physical storms and personal storms. And so I'm hoping everybody's doing as well as possible given the circumstances. At any rate, I wanted to take a quick moment and just talk a little bit about week 3. And as you can see, I've got the screen up for our classroom so you guys can kind of see a little bit of what I'm talking about. This week we focus on creative problem solving. And the reason for that is because a lot of you are going to have careers where you're going to need to really kind of think on your feet, if you will. So by having a little bit of background and experience in that type of scenario, you'll be prepared for it. So for example, if you're going into teaching or law enforcement or something like that, yes, you'll have training, and yes, there will be specific protocols that you'll need to follow in those fields. However, there's also ways of expressing yourself in some of those contexts, and there's ways that you need to kind of address things so that everything is done properly and you don't run into problems with your clients, your department, your supervisors, your colleagues, and pretty much everybody. So this week we kind of learned a little bit about that in critical thinking. And some people were talking about things in the discussion like weighing the pros and cons. What are the good things about this situation? What are the bad things about this situation? And just kind of using that as a barometer of how they would move forward. I think that's a very good way to go. That's something that I've actually done in my personal life when I'm trying to make a decision about something. So that might be something that you might find helpful as well. And that is something that's mentioned on my little summary of what we have going on this week on my schedule there in the announcements. I did want to mention, actually, since we are talking about that, most of you are knocking it out of the park in discussions. A lot of you have some very good thoughts. A lot of you have very detailed thoughts, which is terrific. Some of you have some terrific participation as well. But I did want to mention that there are 1 or 2 people that are kind of falling a little bit short and missing that posting on 3 separate days mark. So I have people who are posting to 3 classmates plus the initial discussion, but they're posting all on one day. So try to break it up a little bit. I know sometimes it's not easy and life happens, you get behind, you're just trying to stay afloat. It is what it is. But what I recommend people do, especially if you're pressed for time, try to post that initial post, unless you're the first person, and then try to post at least 1 response on that same day. That's already giving you 1 day right to the good. And then if that, from there, you've got 2 more days to participate and you're in good. Another thing to bear in mind is to respond to at least 3 classmates, because I have some people who do great responses, but they're only replying to 1 or 2 people. So don't lose out on those points, guys, because that can really help you towards the end of the class, especially. And 1 or 2 people are also kind of doing the one-liner, I agree, great post kind of responses, and you're going to want to build a little bit more on that. Like you could say something like, John, great post. I think you had an excellent point when you said blah, blah, blah. I liked that idea because da, 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 da. Have you ever tried doing this? Or is this a new experience? Or has there ever been a time where this has not worked for you? Ask a question and kind of keep the discussion going. That's what we're looking to do here. And you can just end it with a compliment. You can end it with a reason why you disagree respectfully. John, that's a good idea, but I tried it and it didn't work. What are some pointers you could give me that might be better if I try it again? Something like that might be more beneficial. So just some suggestions to kind of help to keep things flowing smoothly in the discussion. Another thing is we have a couple of hands-on activities this week. Don't forget the practice quiz and the check your knowledge activity. And a couple of people have already done the instructor outreach email, which is great. That's a good exercise, especially on one of my favorites, because that gives you the chance to practice a formal email. And let's face it, in a professional context, you're going to need to address people differently from the way you would address your friends if you're trying to plan to go to the movies on Friday night. So, how would you address somebody who's formal? What would be the subject line? What would be the salutation? What would be the way you would compose the body of that email? How would you conclude? You know, those types of things. So that's the kind of thing that I'm looking for, and that's the kind of thing that I'm looking for us to have in discussions this week. So I'm looking forward to you guys' thoughts. I'm excited to see where we go with this, and I'm hoping you're all doing well. As always, if you need me, I am a phone call or an email away, so please don't hesitate to reach out to me because I'm here as your partner in getting that knowledge that you need so you can be successful in your career and in your academics. So I thank you for your attention. I hope you're having a great day. Take care.